head basketball coach is giving a big assist to kids in Minneapolis by building something special. Our Mike Max has the story.
It's an AAU basketball tournament, and Jamil Jackson is exactly where he wants to be, watching basketball. He is the head coach of Minneapolis Henry High School, his love. He's also a community leader and entrepreneur in Minneapolis. That means he's in touch with what has been some tough nights on the north side.
Where are we at in terms of violence, guns, scared of? Where are we at?
We're a long ways away. We're a long ways away from being where we want to be. I think that the city is starting to see what works and what doesn't work.
And inside here, his passions come together. He bought this church and adjacent building on 4th Avenue and 9th Street in downtown Minneapolis. 24,000 square feet with, you guessed it, a basketball court. One donated by the Timberwolves 22 years ago in memory of Malik Sealy, a player killed in a car crash. The court is now, like the building, growing old.
A year ago, I got the space, and so we're trying to wake it back up.
He wants to do more than get it back up. He now has renderings for what he hopes can revive the entire block with housing. He would like a public-private partnership to make this a destination for kids of the inner city. This will be the arcade. They are already working on the renovation, and his workforce is in part at-risk kids from the city.
This room right here is a bank, and so we created CEO dollars, and so the kids that work here will actually get a salary, and we'll teach them about financial literacy through that way.
They've collected donated bikes for kids to use to see more of life.
And we take them to different locations throughout the city that they normally wouldn't go on their own, right? Different bike trails, different just areas, and then we talk about the zen of life.
They are in the middle of remodeling the bathroom. And they now have new wood floors in the theater that give it a stately look and a stage for performances. And some constant reminders. The walls are filled with a local artist's work. It has meaning.
All of these portraits have been done by youth that have been affected by gun violence. And so we let them host their art show here.
But it all comes back to here, the city, where he still lives, where he still coaches, and where he still believes that despite some growing pains, the north side of Minneapolis is a special place that just needs people to lead.
But I definitely love my community. I live in North Minneapolis, and I would never think of living anywhere else, and I feel safe in my community. I think that every child is a child of mine, and I think that if more men within our community took on that mindset, then we'd have a healthier neighborhood.
There's a new documentary being made in the Twin Cities about a dominant semi-pro football team from Minneapolis. WCCO's Ren Clayton caught up with the Minnesota native behind the film to learn about how it's pushing boundaries.
All Things Considered, a documentary going behind the scenes with the Minneapolis Warriors semi-pro football players, covering their struggles and successes, was a no-brainer.
It was just one of the most rewarding projects I've made because I have such a love for football and a love for filmmaking.
Joe Carlini is originally from Woodbury, but is now a filmmaker in Los Angeles. He played 5 years of semi-pro football himself.
I had a lot of that insight and kind of, where to film, the moments to capture, and then just the intensity of it as a filmmaker, I really, kind of locked in.
He honed in on an idea to create one continuous drone shot using the skills of the virally popular Sky Candy Studios, led by Carlini's friend Michael Welch.
To be honest, that's one of the proudest things I've ever created was the drone video. The camera literally runs into him and bounces off. And, to his composure, he just kept going with it.
It results in what will be one of the most powerful moments of the film, which is still in production, set to be released next year.
As far as my knowledge, it's the only drone that's really been in the trenches of football action.
The movie is a glimpse into this unique branch of America's most popular sport.
Some of them played in the NFL, some of them never played high school football before. Some were phenomenal athletes. Some were incredibly out of shape that, you didn't know if they were going to croak, during the games.
But not the Warriors. During the filming, they won their second straight national championship. In Woodbury, Ren Clayton, WCCO News.
That's our show. We hope that it lifted you up, maybe even inspired you to do some good. You can see more of these heartwarming stories every week on our Sunday morning show. That's from 7 to 8 a.m., leading right into CBS Sunday morning. And if you have any uplifting story you'd like for us to include, we love hearing from you. Submit your stories, keep them coming, wcco.com/uplift. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week, friends.